This is Carolina, the University of South Carolina in Columbia, founded in 1801 and the oldest fully state-supported institution of higher learning in the nation. McKissick Library, located at the top of the Horseshoe, stands out as one of the leading landmarks on campus. Barnwell College, the home of aerospace studies, psychology, and sociology. At Carolina, the enrollment is well over the 12,000 mark. The School of Foreign Languages is Desasaw College, and located less than a block away is the South Caroliniana Library, a very vital part of the original campus on the Horseshoe. At USC, the old is blended in with the new. Women's residence halls are an indication of a university on the move. Commonly referred to as the honeycombs, these are the dorms for men. It is architecture such as this that lends itself so well to the image of Columbia as an all-American city. In the heart of the campus is the Russell House. This is the Student Union Building. It houses student government and student campus organizations. Religious centers are in abundance at Carolina. Protestant, Catholic, and Jewish faiths are all well represented. University President Thomas F. Jones makes his headquarters here, a man who is quite close to the interests of intercollegiate athletics. The Rex Enright Athletic Center is known by the student body as the Roundhouse, virtually the hub of athletics at the school, where scholarship and leadership are blended. The university's director of athletics is Paul Dietzel, who, when he came to Carolina, said, "I may make some mistakes, but I'll make them full speed ahead." For it is within the perimeter of these walls, at the Roundhouse, that coaches plan and develop for the future. For at the University of South Carolina, the athletic picture is a very well-rounded one, from big-time football to the finest in planning for athletics at the intramural level. But it is through football, perhaps, that the Gamecocks are best known. Through thick and thin, gridiron activities have become a legend at Carolina. And the man on whose shoulders the responsibility for the football future of the university rests is Paul Dietzel, head coach and athletic director. The man who produced a national champion at LSU in 1958, as well as having served 4 successful years at West Point, reflects for a moment his first completed season at South Carolina.
Several people ask me if I felt this were the worst season that I have ever had since I've been coaching. The honest answer is no, I've had lots tougher seasons than this. Oh, we have never lost as many games. But I've had seasons where I felt the team didn't give all of their effort. I've had seasons where I didn't feel the squad really lived up to as much potential as it might have had. We had some great moments this year, even in losing efforts. Some of the things that our team did I thought were quite remarkable. And one thing above all else, I certainly gained a tremendous amount of respect for the men of Carolina.
The 1966 season opened up at Baton Rouge. Coach Paul Dietzel returned to his old stomping grounds, and LSU greeted him with a 28-12 setback. Nelson Stokely scores for the Bengals, and LSU leads early in the game, 7-0. Carolina's football at their own 24. Mike Fair passing to Ben Garto for 16 yards and a first down. From the Tigers' 45, on 1st and 10, Fair spots Johnny Gregory, and the play pays off handsomely. It's another first down at the LSU 30. On 2nd and 10 from that same point, it's Fair to Gregory again. Ball now at the 18. This time quarterback Mike Fair elects to keep. Going around right end, he picks up 12 yards down to the 6. 3 plays later with the ball at the 1, Jimmy Killen goes right guard and scores. Gamecocks miss the conversion attempt and trail by 1 point, 7-6. With South Carolina trailing 21-6 late in the third quarter, the Gamecocks fight back. Bobby Bryant takes this Bengal punt at his own 23-yard line and then proceeds to turn in quite a performance, going a total of 77 yards for a score. A final key block in there by Wally Orell provided the margin. The 2-point conversion effort failed. Score 21-12. It ended 28-12. Now game number 3 on the season. The Gamecocks on the receiving end of the opening game kickoff against Georgia at Carolina Stadium. Benny Galloway makes the return of 23 yards to his own 30. First play from scrimmage, Ted Wingert in the quarterback. He connects with Benny Galloway for a 26-yard gain and a first down at the Bulldog 44. Operating from the Georgia 32, Galloway on 1st and 10 scampers the left side for 15 yards. The drive continued down to the Georgia 8 and stopped there. Jimmy Poole attempting a 4th down field goal from 26 yards out, but it's no good, and the Bulldogs gain control. In the 4th quarter, a Carolina drive was halted by a Garnto fumble at the Carolina 36. 3 plays later from the 32, Georgia quarterback Kirby Moore rolling to his left carries for a 10-yard gain. Now from the 16 on 2nd and 4. Moore gets 5, stopped in there by Gene Schwarting. Then from the 6, Kirby Moore rolls wide right, going into the end zone for the game's only touchdown of the night. The extra point with 5:27 left in the game gave it to Cotton Bowl champion Georgia 7-0. Next stop, Raleigh and NC State. Opening play from scrimmage. Carolina's Gene Schwarting recovers a Wolfpack fumble at the State 17. In 5 plays, the Gamecocks move the pigskin to the 10. Mike Fair pitches to Ben Garnto, and Garnto passes to Jimmy Killen, and it's touchdown Carolina. Jimmy Poole converted, and the score is now 7-0. Later in the first quarter, an alert Bill Morrow intercepts a Carolina pass for the Wolfpack at the USC 25, and then rambles on the rest of the way for the TD. Moments later, State deadlocked the issue at 7-7, kicking from placement. Early in the second quarter, State faced with a 4th and 22 and punting from their own 38-yard line. Jim Donnan's boot is gathered in by Bobby Bryant at his own 2. And from there on, it's Katie bar the door. Bryant going 98 yards for the score on the punt return. A new Atlantic Coast Conference record with good blocks turned in by Tim Bice and Wally Orell, making the long run possible. With the score at 14-7, it's Gamecocks with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 33. Fair complete to Gregory for 15. On the game's very next play from the USC 48, it's Benny Galloway skirting left end for 8 more. Now on 2nd and 6 from the 37, it's Fair keeping and charging ahead for 10. Two plays later, it's 2nd and 6 from the Wolfpack 23. Fair spots Gregory, and the timing is perfect. Gregory makes the grab just before stepping out of the end zone. Poole from placement was good. Gamecocks lead 21-7. Later in the second quarter, State owns the football, 2nd and 11 at their own 31. Jack Klebe throwing to Tony Barchett for a 13-yard gain. Same drive, but the ball is now at the Gamecock 22. Klebe passing, deflected by Charlie Taylor, and then caught by Gary Rao. It's a big play, good for 17 yards down to the 5. Seconds ticking off in the first half. State decides to throw. Barchett to Wendell Coleman for the score. The subsequent conversion made the score at the half 21-14. Opening moments now of the third quarter, 1st and 10, Carolina at their own 41. Fair teaming up with Galloway with an aerial that nets 30 yards down to the State 29. 1st and 10 from that point, and Galloway with some real good effort here, picking up 12 down to the Wolfpack 17. But then at the 14, the drive on the ground is halted. Jimmy Poole will go for 3. His 31-yard effort is good. 24-14, the Gamecocks are out in front. Then in the 4th stanza, Carolina adds to its point total as Benny Galloway breaks loose from 43 yards out. As things turns out, it is quite a run. First, Galloway breaks out and then back in toward the middle, aided in here with a good block by Jim Killen. Again, Jimmy Poole was on target, and Carolina wraps it up for their first win of the season, defeating NC State 31-21. 2 weeks later, the scene shifts to Knoxville, and after the first quarter, Carolina leads Tennessee 3-0. The breaks are going their way as Bill Dickens picks off this volunteer pass, returning it to the Tennessee 35. Then on 3rd and 4 from the 29, it's Mike Fair passing complete to Wally Medlin for 15. And with the pigskin now resting on the volunteer 8, 1st and goal, Garnto throws complete to Gregory for the touchdown. Mike Fair then completed a 2-point conversion run, and the Gamecocks were out in front 11-0. The Tennessee will not be denied. Dewey Warren to Richmond Flowers at the 15, and Flowers, dancing the sideline, goes the rest of the way. Play covered a total of 21 yards. Tennessee came up with a two-pointer of their own. They now trail by 3, 11-8. Third quarter, Tennessee having advanced to the lead, 15-11. Gamecocks booting from their own 39. And this is Jeff Jowers, number 3 for South Carolina, back into spread punt formation. He gets his boot off, and it's down there into Tennessee territory, gathered in by Jerry Smith. He makes the return from his own 13 up to the 39. Randy Harbour in there to make the stop. 10 plays later, and in the fourth quarter, it's Warren trying right end, gaining 8, stopped in there by Wally Urell and David Grant. Then from the 2-yard line, fullback Bob Moriello goes over the middle and scores. That just about locked it up. Tennessee going on to win it 29-17. As their homecoming opponents, the Gamecocks had on their schedule the Seminoles of FSU. The question was, could the Roosters escape scalping from the Indians? Pre-game ceremony was at a peak that Saturday, November the 5th at Carolina Stadium. The Marching Chiefs, led by their head majorette, perform a real fine marching serenade. Then, under the direction of Dr. James D. Pritchard, director of bands at the university, bands from both schools combine in the playing of the Carolina alma mater. Then, moments just before the contest, the Fighting Gamecocks come onto the football field. And then the game itself. FSU received. On the opening play, halfback Bill Mormon passes complete to quarterback Gary Padgett for 24 yards. On the game's very next play, and from their own 48, FSU charges ahead for 13 more yards on this run by Mormon. The ball is now resting at the Carolina 25. On 2nd and 8, Gary Padgett passes complete to T.K. Weatherall for 14 yards and a first down at the 11. 3 plays later, it's Bill Mormon finding running room up the middle, going the final 7 yards for the day's first touchdown. FSU missed the conversion attempt, score 6-0. The Gamecock field goal by Jimmy Poole cut the lead in half at 6-3, but now it's FSU in possession once again. Padgett's pass, however, is intercepted by Bobby Cole and returned to the midfield straight. 4 plays later, South Carolina at their own 43. On 3rd and 17, the big play. From the shotgun, Gonto passes to Galloway for 18. Gamecocks doing well from the shotgun. Here they are using it again. On 3rd and 10 from the Indians at 39. Ben Gonto rushing, and he's good for 11. 3 plays later, John Marcottes in at quarterback. On 3rd and 7 from the 25, Marcottes hits Johnny Gregory for 14 yards down to the Seminole 11. Then on 2nd and 7 from the 8, it's a pass play from Marcottes to Jimmy Mulvihill. He stopped the one with 1st and goal to go. On the first play of the second quarter, Ben Gonto goes over left end and hits Tater. Jimmy Poole made the extra point, putting the Gamecocks in the lead 10-6. But from that point on, Carolina drew nothing but goose eggs. Florida State came on strong, and they won it 32-10. Halftime festivities at this year's return of the Carolina alumni included the crowning of the homecoming queen for 1966, Miss Pamela Merrick Tovey of Charleston, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed beauty of 20, and a junior majoring in education. A fine crowd at Carolina Stadium, good football weather, and beautiful girls performing as members of the Carolina Coquettes. A victory would have made it all quite perfect, but that would have to come another day. Playing a team that is gunning for its 3rd consecutive national football title can never be a picnic. Such was the case when Carolina faced Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Kenny Stabler going 14 yards for Bama. Now from the Gamecock 16 on 1st and 10, Bama fullback David Chatwood goes straight up the middle for 15 yards down to the 1. Then on 1st and goal, it's Chatwood driving in for the game's first score. The extra point made it 7-0. Third quarter now, Carolina down 14-0, and Bama is driving. Stabler throwing. But the pass is intercepted by Stan Jupp, number 16, at his own 3-yard line. Gamecocks 1st and 10 from that point. Wally Medlin gets his team out of a big hole, going 19 yards for a first down. 3 plays later, it's Ben Garnto moving up the middle for 8 yards and a first down at the USC 34. After that, though, the going got tougher, and Jeff Jowers had the punt. Now later in the quarter, Alabama is about to increase its margin. Wayne Trimble passing. It's tipped by Ed Morgan and then grabbed by a very quick-thinking Ray Perkins, and the Tide has another touchdown. Later in the ballgame, Bama out in front 24-0, and they own the pigskin at their own 30. Joe Kelly in at quarterback, throwing long, intended for Perkins, but it's picked off by Wally Orrell, and he returns it 47 yards down to the Alabama 18. But then the Sugar Bowl champs quickly intercepted a Gamecock aerial, ran off the clock and won 24-0. The season drawing to a close, and members of the squad hold their final practice just prior to the season finale against arch rival Clemson. That last practice was highlighted by the performance of these graduating seniors making their last official tackle during drills. In this particular instance, the Gamecocks did their stuff at the expense of a dummy dressed in Clemson colors. Those senior members of the squad included tackles Bill Nelson and Jerry Soles, guards Randy Harbour and Dave Berry, punting specialist Jeff Jowers, ends Mike Reagan and Leroy Bailey, tackle Paul Phillips, along with backs Bill Dickens, Stan Jupp, and Bobby Bryant. The final stop on this year's line was Clemson and those dangerous Tigers who were about to clinch their 4th ACC football crown. A capacity crowd of 46,000 would watch the Tigers come from behind late in the second period and totally dominate play in the second half. The crowd arrived early on a rather warm Saturday in November. The Fighting Gamecocks made their first appearance, arriving by bus from their motel, led by head coach Paul Dietzel. And the stands filled early with fans in their finery. Pretty girls wearing their Carolina mums, while others checked possible starting game lineups. Now in uniform, Carolina took to the field for their pregame warm-up before a very enthusiastic crowd prepared to support. Introducing the Gamecock coaching staff, top assistant is Larry Jones, who handles the defensive line, a former center at LSU, and a member of the Dietzel staff for 8 years. Jim Ballack is in charge of the offensive backs, a former All-Big Ten end. Ballack graduated from Illinois in '48. Johnny Menger also handles the offensive backs. At Georgia Tech, he played in 4 bowl games in as many years. Bill Schlossky coordinates the offense. He played under Paul Dietzel at Cincinnati, and Dietzel calls him the finest lineman he's ever coached. Jimmy Vickers coaches the offensive ends, having played that position himself at Georgia. On the sidelines, Clyde Rattery, freshman coach at Carolina, and Dick Weldon, director of high school relations, talk things over prior to the Clemson encounter. And pacing around like a tiger in a cage is Bill Rao, Gamecock coach in charge of the defensive linebackers and middle guards. Rao is a West Pointer. The man who directs the defense is George Terry. He and Coach Dietzel have been a team for more than 11 years. Lou Holtz is the Carolina squad's academic liaison, as well as defensive backfield coach. And at the helm, Coach Paul Dietzel, a veteran of 25 years in organized football, a National Coach of the Year in 1958. Then, just prior to the kickoff, the combined bands of Carolina and Clemson provide the music. Reflecting upon the game, we turn to the opening play of the second quarter with South Carolina's Benny Galloway running for a 17-yard gain and a first down to the Clemson 3. Three plays later on 3rd and goal, it's Mike Fair up the middle. From the 1 for the score, the extra point by Poole tied the contest up at 7-7. Late in the quarter, Gamecocks in control again. From their own 39 on 2nd and 10, Galloway gets off a beauty. Watch him here. He's number 20 as he circles right end for 36 yards. 2 plays later from the Tiger 23, Ben Garnto keeps the drive alive with a 14-yard first down rush to the 9. In 3 plays, Clemson holds. Gamecocks going for the field goal. Jimmy Poole on 4th down from 20 yards out. It's good. The score is 10-7, South Carolina. Moments before the first half ended, Clemson grabbed the lead at 14-10. Here, the Tigers come up with the bomb. Quarterback Jimmy Addison to Phil Rogers on a fine play that covers 49 yards and is good for 6 more points. With a subsequent conversion, Clemson moved ahead 21-10. Then in the 4th quarter, it's Clemson with the football at the Carolina 12. On first down, Addison fumbles, picked up and recovered by guard Harry Oshetsky, who rambles into the end zone for another score. Clemson puts some finishing touches on the ball game during the last minutes of play. Addison tosses to Edgar McGee for 11 yards and a TD. Final score, Clemson 35, South Carolina 10. Yes, this is Carolina. Enrollment 12,000 plus. Located in the heart of all-American city, Columbia. Carolina, where the old blends in with the new, where scholarship and leadership are blended together, aiding in the future development of athlete and student alike. The home of the Fighting Gamecocks, where the future is the thing. Athletic Director Paul Dietzel is a man who is confident of that future, a man with eternal optimism.
And that is all in the past. There's nothing we can do about what happened last year. 1966 is over. What we look forward to is the future of the Fighting Gamecocks. Everywhere we look, the stadium, the dormitory, every spot we behold is on the upswing. The campus, the university, South Carolina. We look forward to the future with a tremendous amount of enthusiasm. And every place we look, it looks very, very good. This is something that all of us, and you too, can look forward to with a tremendous amount of enthusiasm.